from New Delhi. We'll be covering this further later with our correspondent Thomas Porteous. Stay tuned. Let's now look at some other important news from across the world. The White House has pushed back after the Vatican announced it will not be joining President Donald Trump's so-called Board of Peace. Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt has said the administration believes the board is a legitimate organization aimed at advancing peace initiatives. Speaking at a news briefing, Leavitt has described the Vatican's decision as unfortunate, while stressing that the United States will continue its efforts. The comments come as President Donald Trump seeks to position the board as part of a broader diplomatic push. The Vatican has not provided further details on its decision, but the move highlights ongoing tensions over global peace initiatives. Now, for this, we welcome Dr. Punsara Amarasinghe. He's a Middle East affairs expert of the Kotawala Defense University, joins us live from Colombo. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Amarasinghe, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now, looking at this news, what do you think led Vatican to make this decision?
Not only Vatican, if you look at the rest of the other member states from traditional European allies across the Atlantic, most of them seem to have taken very much pessimistic stances in Trump's the so-called Board of Peace. Even though Trump has invested $5 billion for the reconstruction process of city of Gaza, peace is likely to be quite elusive. When it comes to the question you raised with regard to Vatican's positions, I think Vatican, even the ascendancy of the current Pope, even during the times of Pope Francis, Vatican maintained quite a rigorous standing towards the military actions perpetrated by Israel. Right, so the Vatican's anathema, the reluctance towards U.S.-Israeli coalition always has been in this manner. But if you look at the other aspects, right, if you look at the overall structure of U.S. mandated the Board of Peace in Gaza, which contains quite problematic junctures in terms of its infrastructure facilities, also in terms of its objectives, and also the U.S. negotiators have not been able to find out a solution to address the biggest issue lying in Gaza, which is the disarmament of Hamas.
Right. And do you think, how does it further affect the legitimacy of Board of Peace? Sorry.
Yeah. So you ask about the legitimacy of Board of Peace. So you need to look at the members to the Board of Peace, which consists of eminent individuals such as Tony Blair. At the same time, under Trump's mandate, several key member states have entered Board of Peace, such as Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Qatar, and Turkey. But there is no representation from Palestine, which happens to be the one of the most notable actors to this geopolitical complexity in the Middle East. So you can't technically have a Board of Peace without having one of its key players. So this seems to be one of the biggest problems which undermines the stability of Board of Peace. At the same time, also we cannot forget the fact that Hamas has not completely agreed upon US proposal for the idea of disarmament, because they completely believe that they have right to defend themselves. So without participation of Hamas, without participation from Palestine, we are going to have a Board of Peace which simply looks like quite an elusive peace proposal. And also, I need to say one more thing before I wind up. This proposal, this Board of Peace, symbolizes one of the most disastrous situation in the post-Second World War order. The coalition between European allies and the United States of America has been completely deteriorated, as France, Germany, and United Kingdom have abstained from participating in the Board of Peace.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amarasinghe, for sharing that insight. Please stay with us as we come back to you for our next discussion as well.